You are becoming somebody who does not waste anything. Hello, welcome to Soul Whispers with Michelle. This is a soul-led message, which means if it doesn't resonate deep within, or if you're fighting with the story in any sort of way, please leave it behind for the soul that it's meant to find. May love hold you, may truth guide you, and may you be released from whatever is not yours. And so it is. If that was enough for you and you heard your soul whisper within that, please remember to hit the like button on the way out and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to dive in a little bit more to find out what's going on in this current season of your life energetically, stick around and we'll go through that. All right, so interesting. This whole vulture spirit. By the way, I just love this deck. It's one of those where the images in it, the animals just make me feel so good. So I love working with this deck because it makes me feel like, oh, they're so cute. Anyhow, in any way, this position is the characteristics to embody as you're moving through this season. So you're moving through a season, we have bat spirit. You're moving through a season of rebirth is assured, right? So if there's a rebirth, that means that there's obviously an ending. The interesting thing that's coming up with this is I noticed 6-3, right? So I noticed that this is a 9 total number, which to me is the indication that there's endings. So what I'm kind of getting from this for you is that nothing is wasted with the endings that have come or that you are about to go through. Okay, I do feel like these endings are an important part of this path because we have that bat spirit saying that there's a rebirth assured, which means you're going to utilize the product of the ending. So whatever this ending is going to end up being utilized as a benefit moving forward. All right, so let's see what you are moving away from in this season of life. We have hummingbird, be here now. The more what I'm getting with this is there's moving away from being frantic, okay? The hummingbird typically is about being able to stay still, but their wings are flapping so fast as they're remaining still so that they can get all of the nectar. And so I feel like you're moving away from a part of life where you were a little bit more frantic. And instead of that still body, like being able to keep still, I feel like you're moving away from that frantic energy of that wing flying and moving towards more of the light side of this card, which is being able to stay still as there's chaos going on around you, even if it's like a chaos within yourself. And I say this because your wings flapping is what's causing the chaos because it's moving quickly. But you're able to maintain your balance and your stillness as this is happening. What you're moving toward. We have antelope spirit. Life is speeding up. It's interesting because it's like you must have been doing a lot of something but staying in one particular place. And I think that's the difference. Like the two energies between this, what we're moving away from here and what we're moving towards, is like there's a lot of movement, but they're staying in one place. Here, there's a lot of movement, but they're literally moving forward. So it's like you're not going to be staying in the same place anymore. This rebirth and this ending that needs to happen is because something pertaining to you staying in one place, as opposed to moving forward, progressing. And it seems like this ending that you're going through is helping you move it forward. All right, we have the purpose of this current season. Brown bear spirit, take time out. So obviously the hibernation is kind of what comes up here. Um, but that's interesting, right? Because we have so much movement and then we go to the season is the hibernation. So what I'm feeling more with this card, even though it does talk about um, taking the time out and going into hibernation, I don't feel like this is the energy for you. I actually feel more that this is a season for you to embody or to experience your own power. A lot of times, in a lot of symbols for me personally, a bear is strength, it's vitality, it's the endurance, it's being able to have power to get through something. Um, and I feel like in this current season, you're going to find the power to move forward. And I feel like the power to move forward, again, with these endings, there has something to do with basically what I feel like is what do they call that, composting. Like you're composting these bad times, turning it into like fertilizer to enhance your life in the future and even in the present moment. All right, let's see. If you move with this change, you will experience, meaning if you move with the change of actually moving forward, stopping the activities that are just keeping you busy, but are actually not progressing whatever this thing is that you are trying to progress and are putting so much work into, but are not seeing very many results. Um, I do feel like there's just something that you need to do different there. And let's see what else comes out. Okay, but you are being asked, no, I'm sorry. If you move with this change, you will experience, we have giraffe spirit, see the big picture. If you move with this change, which is to make decisions to progress things forward, and I also feel like you got to get out of your comfort zone and make a decision to make a change. Something obviously, like I said, has to come to an end, but you're using that ending, like use the results of what you've been doing in order to move into this next season. Because it feels like you're just adjusting something little and it catapults you forward. Like you go from that very hummingbird thing to like just releasing full on with the cantaloupe. And if you move with that change with that giraffe, it's like, well, a giraffe, they can see such a different perspective because they're so high off the ground. So I really feel like you're going to be able to see things differently when you make different choices. And I think that you're going to see the bigger picture and actually have more of like a framework of, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this. Not to say that that can't change as you're moving through reality and implementing these things, but just that you'll have that grander perspective. All right, if you resist this change, you will experience, we have coyote spirit, trust in divine detours. That is so funny. This particular sped, I do feel like so many times this is what happens. It's like you always end up getting to where you're going to go. It's the way it's the way you'll experience it if you either move with the changes or you don't. If you resist, you might feel this. If you don't, blah, blah, right? Okay. So if you resist, you'll have that coyote spirit, which with the divine detours, that kind of just gives me like, yeah, you're still going to get there, but there's going to be more detours that you're going to have to take. And the universe might have to work extra hard to put these detours in front of you so that you do move with your soul's path. Now, If you move with the changes, it's instead of having the detours with the giraffe, you yourself just see the different perspective. Either way, I feel like you're still going to move through this ending, but it's just a matter of the time and what kind of detours that you have to go through. Now, keep in mind too, sometimes I guess like people like detours. Maybe it's a fun detour. I don't know. I'm just giving you the energy of the cards. Um, One will get you there a little bit quicker. One's going to have divine detours associated with it. You choose. Right now would be helpful too. And we have a turkey spirit. Give with gratitude and grace. Oh, maybe part of what you've been giving has not been given with gratitude and grace. Maybe this is actually the little tweak that you need to implement. If you were to focus just on that, if you were to focus on expanding this thing or progressing this thing using gratitude and grace, what would that mean for you realistically in a reality-based situation? Does giving with gratitude mean you speak different? Does it change the way or the offer that you give? Like, what does it mean to you to give with gratitude and grace? That seems to be a key component to what's going to kind of catapult you out of this stuckness and into this other phase of, it just seems like you're going to get a lot coming in, like a big flow. I don't know why I'm feeling that, because I will say, like, I don't see any cards yet that are indicative of that, but it is a feeling I'm getting. All right, the mindset that will support you through this season. We have a starfish spirit, open to infinite possibility. I think that's part of it. If you open your mindset to the fact that there are so many different ways to do things, I think there are so many different ways to do things to get the same result. So I do feel like that we already talked about that the gratitude and grace is going to be helpful for you right now, and the mindset that you need to embrace as you're moving through the season to help you move through it with more ease, grace, and flow is to be open to these infinite possibilities. So I think this is where that abundance is coming in, where I'm feeling this, because it's like I'm opening, like this needs to be a possibility that you're open to, that what you are doing right now does have infinite possibility. And I almost wonder if you can have gratitude and grace for that. Like, there's so many different ways that this can go, so many different avenues that this can progress. And it's almost like allowing that to be the possibility. That's like the first layer. And then once you allow that and that becomes part of your mental construct, then the neural networks are going to start forming a path for different thoughts to kind of come in and for you to experience this little change that is going to, again, catapult this energy forward, is the way that it feels. Okay, you will experience, we have flamingo spirit, when you are on the right path. I think you're going to see a lot of changes. And we have the, underneath there, it says embrace the in-between. You're going to start to notice your energy changing. All right. Now, we already talked about the fact that you are embodying this characteristic of not wasting anything that you have been through. And so what I'm seeing at the top here with the flamingo spirit, it's so interesting. I didn't know that flamingos were actually born, I believe it's like whitish gray, or it could just be more white. But I digress. They are most definitely not the flat flamingo pink that you know. Their food source and where they eat creates this color for them. So the more mature and older they get, the more you see that flamingo color. So I feel like when you're going through, when you know you're on the right path, it's going to be because you're in this in between. So instead of sitting still, you're going to be, I feel like, in between this slow moving or really non-moving. This is like non-moving, staying in the same place. And this is like, we're going so fast, okay? When you are on the right path, you're going to experience being kind of in the in-between, meaning things are going to open up, so there will be movement. It's not going to be super fast, but you're going to be moving a lot faster than what you currently are. The progression will be. So this is how you will know you're on the right track. Because when you start moving more with that gratitude and grace and you open yourself to these possibilities, I think this is where that rebirth is assured for you. Because again, if you're open to these possibilities and change your mindset, that indeed is a rebirth. Because again, it opens up neural pathways. When you start thinking differently, different ideas can actually come in. All right. If this whisper supported you and you'd like to support me back, my Venmo and PayPal are located in the description. If you'd like to support me in a free way, liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel really helps me expand my reach, and I really appreciate your support. Until the next whisper, my friends.